This crazy world we live in, though. I feel like, yeah, have you seen Ready Player One? I feel like we're doing a lot of movie references. It's like a video game movie. I haven't
seen that one either.
It's like, I just watched it like last week, but it's like a VR one where there's like a whole world.
Okay.
And in the future, you can do so much stuff in the virtual reality world that people don't do stuff in the real world anymore. So everyone's at home, like on these goggles, instead of doing stuff. And they kind of live like in a trashy place. Like, no one takes care of like landscaping because everyone's on their video games.
Oh.
So it makes me wonder, like, that's kind of where we're headed, like with everyone on their phones and games.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it'll be more like online stuff or like alternate realities, and people are going to forget how to be people. I think that's happening already. It would be interesting to see a study about like an older generation person versus like a modern day child.
Yeah.
And like their level of creativity and like how in touch they are with their emotions. Like how can they deal with stressful situations? I feel like the kid would be terrible and the older person would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I feel like kids these days too, I look at my kids and see how they do things so much more different than what we would have done as kids, or as kids, how let's just say we went and built a fort in a tree.
That was the thing to do.
Yeah. Whereas these days kids are so about technology that they know how to go about, like, there's things on the iPad that I'm like, how did my kid even do that? But like, they know how to do all these things. And with me, I'm like, well, like, they don't go build forts and trees or in the desert or this or that. And that's what we used to do.
Yeah.
And so it's just how crazy times have changed and how different things are now, you know?
I think there's good parts to it because it's got to like enhance creativity, right? Because you're right. Like, why would I go build a fort when I can build a mansion on this iPad?
Yeah.
And so it's like, and technically that is creative and interesting and cool, but it really does take you away from reality.
Yeah.
And I think the less in touch you are with actual reality, I think it's bad.
Yeah.
I think filters and things online, like pictures, like it's not even the people anymore.
Yeah.
Like I know some people that only use filters and touch-ups and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And you see them around town and you're like, what? That's the same person?
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's not just women anymore. Men are doing it. Like it's everyone. And so, and I get it. Who doesn't want to feel good as someone who edited pictures before? I get it.
Yeah.
You want them to pop. You want them to do certain things. But I do think you got to like have a touch of reality and like kind of, I think it's good for your mental health to know about the things that are happening around you and the way that you actually look, and focus more on the way you feel about it as opposed to changing it.
Yeah.
But I don't have all the answers, but I can see it going pretty bad in the future.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and to kind of run off of that too, it's, I was dating there for a little bit online, and there's people who state on their profiles, they're like, if you have edited pictures or filtered pictures, like, don't write me, you know? And it's crazy because I was going through all of my pictures and I'm like, I mean, I don't have like the bear ears and the glasses on any of my pictures, but like, it's crazy to look through all the pictures that I do have. And I'm like, there's some sort of filter through all of these Snapchat pictures. And so, I mean, you're not really posting authentic yourself
and you're
pictures.
Encouraged to not do that, right? Which is why they're mostly filters.
Yeah.
Like if you swipe through, there's only one that has nothing on it.
Yeah.
The other ones are all extra. There's extras on the extras.
Yes.
And when you go to Instagram, you can edit a photo and then you can edit the edited photo.
Yes.
Then you can add effects to the edited photo and then stickers and then make it shake.
Yeah.
And so it's like you're encouraged to do it.
Yeah.
So it's almost would be weird for you to post a non-edited photo.
Yeah, for sure.
But and I get it. I have a cool relationship with it. As someone who has edited photos, I edit the thumbnails for the podcast. All of them get enhanced. Yeah. Because people click on photos that have more pop to them. Yeah. So I get it. But I do know, you know what I don't do is I try not to like look at the picture before the person posts. I know everyone does this. Girls do this a lot. Yeah. Like if I'm in a group and we all take a photo, that photo is just meant to be out there if it is. Yeah. Like I'm not like, let me see it. Can we redo it? My hand's weird. Like I get it. Like if I'm in a weird photo, but I have a good sense of humor. I think that's kind of funny. Mm-hmm. Laura took one of me one time where there's one at the beach where just the weird angle of it. Yeah. Like I think I'd just fallen into the beach. And so I was crouched over. Yeah. And the water was kind of covering my knees. Uh-huh. So it looked like I was just a really small man. And then I had like this bubbly belly because the way that the water hit it. Yeah. And I didn't even notice it at first. And then once we posted it all, it looked kind of weird. And I'm like, it made me feel weird, but I'm like, it's kind of funny. If someone asked me about it, I would just joke about it. Yeah. But I try not to. I try to just let them live wherever they live and just be like, all right.
Like it is what it is.
Who cares?
Yeah.
It all happens.
No, for sure.
But yeah, it's the world we live in. That's the route we're going towards. And so it makes sense. But I do think there should be like a healthy balance. Like maybe don't do them every now and then.
Yeah.
Or find a way to like look at yourself in the mirror and be comfortable with that as well as these edited photos.
Yeah.
And like be cool with that. Do you, as a parent, do you ever get nervous for your kids? Because it's going to affect them way more than it affects us.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, I think, especially with my daughter, I see her taking pictures on the iPad all the time. And, sometimes she goes through and edits and does this or that. But just some of the things that they do, I'm like, oh gosh, like, and she's only 10, and it just kind of scares me to think that, because at 10, well, we didn't even have cell phones when we were 10. But so I'm like, we didn't take selfies were not a thing at all. Like selfies only became a thing when I was in my 20s or even my 30s, like within the last few years, and it's just crazy because my daughter, to hear her go through a picture and, oh, I don't like that one. And in my head, I do it all the time, like, I'm like, oh gosh, what a bad picture, like delete that, which I should be better about not saying it so much in front of my daughters just so that she doesn't get that in her head at such a young age. But I mean, it's what comes out and it's like, oh no, delete that one, but I already see completely that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm not a parent, but I always wonder, like, how would I address this? Like when I am, and I have no idea. I would guess though that what would be really helpful, because if you don't like a picture, you shouldn't have it out there. So like part of me gets it. Yeah. Like if it's gonna make you feel weird, I would much rather you say something, have it deleted, than for you to just feel weird every time you scroll in and say. Yeah. So part of me doesn't care if someone says delete that. I'm like, sure, there's more pictures in the world. Yeah. But it's like kind of like what you said. How do you teach a child that like you're supposed to feel good about? Why do you not like the picture? I guess is important. Like, I don't know. It's a tough one. Like what? Because if it's like weird, like if it does look weird, I get it, delete it. Yeah. But if it's like you and you're like criticizing yourself and you're 10, it's like, God, I got to address this, but like, there's not really a right way. Yeah. You just say, I don't know. Yeah. That's crazy. I don't know. There's not really an answer there. I would hope that you could just like laugh about it. I think the more that you can like have a sense of humor about stuff, I think it helps a little bit of those feelings of inadequacy and like I don't look good or I don't look well or like that one's weird or something like that. They only develop like over time. Yeah. And so it's not like one instance, but if you let those small things build up, the next thing you know, you kind of do feel weird. You ever there's some days where and I'm going to say this being completely honest and not conceited or what would be the opposite of conceited? Like, I don't know, not either ends of not either Jesus Christ, I'm sucking my words right now. Essentially, sometimes I look in the mirror at myself and I'm like, I have no confidence at all. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? And there's some, like literally the next day, I look the same as I did the day before. Yep. Just some days you got it. I look in the mirror, I'm like, God, man, like you are handsome. Yeah. Like, and I just like, it affects my day. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like if I ate breakfast that day or something stupid, I'm sure. Yeah. But there's some days where I feel really well. Yeah. And I'll go out and my night will be better because I feel well. Yeah. In reality, I look the same as the night before when I didn't feel well. Yeah. And so it's weird how it's like, but you get one compliment. Let's say the night I didn't feel well. Yeah. If someone said like, God, like you're killing it, you've been working out. Like, boom, now I feel well. Yeah. Oh, sometimes that's all that takes. Yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah. And then the rest of the night's good. Yeah. So it's weird how it like, there's got to be a way to like feel that on your own. Yeah. But it almost means more when it comes from someone else, huh? For sure. Yeah. And it's crazy because I was just talking about this, on 4th of July. Mm-hmm. I don't know what it was because I was definitely at my heaviest because I keep having all of these sensitivities to food and I don't know, I can't pinpoint which food it is, but I feel like I have taken everything off of my list that I can eat. So I'm eating like a rabbit and there's still something that I cannot have. But I just remember telling my brother, I was like, it's so weird because like I am at my heaviest right now that I have been in years. And I'm like, and I feel so confident. Like, I don't know what it is. And, but then there's also days where you're just like,
oh my gosh, like I look like trash. Like, and it's like, you look the same as you did the day before. Like, why do you feel like trash today? And yesterday you were like, dang, I am killing it. You know, I don't know.
It's a variety of factors, but you're right. Like that's why it's important to be nice to people. Like, I'm not even saying be dishonest. Don't tell someone that they look great when they don't.
Yeah.
But like, if someone is doing something, like, you ever see something you enjoy, like, or think is cool, but you just don't say anything, right?
Yeah.
Like you like someone's hat, or women, they like people's dresses or nails. Sometimes you don't always get to say that, but sometimes when you do, it really means a lot to that person.
Yeah.
And to you, it was a quick thing that you noticed, but to them, it builds them up.
Yeah.
And I do think it's healthy to get to that place on your own, but sometimes you need help from the people around you. I think having a good support system and like having friends that aren't haters. Because I'm pretty resilient. Like if one person made fun of me, like I probably would just joke back.
Yeah.
But if 2 or 3 people like did it, like I think not even consciously, like something in my brain would go like, is that true?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And then that would get stuck on it, and then there goes my day.
Oh,
so it's
yeah.
like,
hey there, subscribers. What do I gotta do to get subscriptions by you? Will you subscribe? It's down below. Hit the red button. No.